Hi students of class 3, again I have come to take another class of computer. Last day I have revised the hardware components of the computer system, that are the input and the output devices. Today I will start the class with the CPU or the storage and the storage devices along with the software components. Now let's start the class with the main important part of the computer system, that is the CPU, Central Processing Unit. It is also called the brain of the computer system. Now, CPU is kept inside the CPU box, and it has mainly three main parts. First one is the arithmetic logic unit, ALU. Next one is the CU, control unit, and the third one is the MU, that is the memory unit. Now ALU, arithmetic logic unit, performs all the calculations like the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. CU, control unit, controls all the activities of the computer system and also the movement of data between the ALU and the memory unit. Last one, the memory unit, MU, where all the data and the instruction, the input given by the user, those things are stored inside the MU. It also called the main memory or the primary memory, and it is always stored inside the CPU box. Now, the hardware parts that include some of the storage devices also. So input device we have discussed, output device we have discussed, CPU we have discussed. So other than CPU, hardware, input devices, output devices, we have the storage devices like CD, DVD, pen drive, data card, hard disk. So first I will start explaining this part with the CD and DVD. Now you all have learned the CD, what is CD and what is DVD. That are CD is compact disc and DVD is digital versatile disc or digital video disc. You have to remember these two full forms. DVD, CD and DVD both can store certain amount of data, but DVD can store much more data than CD, and this CD and DVD we can carry the CD and DVD with us while we are traveling from one place to another. Next we have the data card. It is also a storage device. We can store data inside the data card and we can use this data card inside the cameras, mobile phones, etc. Next we have the pen drive. Now pen drive is much more smaller in size than the CD or DVD, but it can store much more data than CD and DVD. Last storage device, that is the most important storage device, is the hard disk. This hard disk is basically fixed inside the CPU box and it can store much more data than CD, DVD and pen drive. So I think now this storage device is also clear to you. Whatever points I have discussed over here, please go through it in the book. All the points are there in the book. Please read it thoroughly, line by line read it. So now here the hardware components of the computer system is finished. Now let us go over with the software parts of the computer system. Now what is the software? What is a software? The hardware cannot work on its own. If a certain printer or a CD drive are connected to the computer system, automatically it will never work unless and until we give some instruction and the CPU is signal that this thing to be done in the computer system. This hardware parts will never work. So certain instruction we need to give them. This data and instruction, whatever we are giving it to the computer system, makes the hardware work, is called the software. So software is the part of the computer which we cannot touch, but whatever work is done with the help of the hardware is in the computer system is done by the software, with the help of the software. Some of the examples of the software are like Notepad. In class 1, I think everyone has done typing. That typing is done with the help of Notepad. Notepad is a typing software. Next is calculator. Calculator is used for doing calculations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, many more complex calculation is done with the help of calculator. Calculator is another software. Paint. In class 2 you have done paint, you have drawn the shapes, you have drawn certain pictures using the colors. That means the paint is a software used for drawing pictures. Next is Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, these are the high level softwares. These softwares are used for typing letters, for making birthday cards, different things are there for doing it over here. So some of the examples of software I have given, like revise it once with me: Notepad, TaskPaint, Paint, Calculator, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, software are of two types. First is the application software, next is the system software. Now, application software are the software that do a certain specific task. Certain specific task means, suppose the paint. Paint is only used for drawing pictures. Notepad. Notepad is only used for typing certain things. So in paint we cannot use paint for only typing, rather than paint is only used for painting, and notepad is used for typing, not for drawing. So these are the examples of the application software. Application software is used to do certain specific work by the computer system. Next we come to system software. System software controls the overall working of the computer system. The example is operating system, OS, and the example of operating system is Windows. Whatever work we do inside the computer system, it is done with the help of system software. That means overall activity, which hardware we will use for printing, which hardware we will use for doing the projection on the wall. These all things, whatever we want to store inside the storage devices, which storage device we will use, these overall activities are controlled by the system software. Now this I have discussed with you all the softwares that we can use inside the computer system. Now, next, the last part of the computer, this chapter is IPO cycle. Now, this IPO cycle represents the input process output cycle. In this cycle, we will learn about how the computer system is working. That is, first we give the input using the input devices, and then those input get inside the CPU for processing by the help of ALU, CU and the primary memory. Then we get the output of, after processing the data, that output we get with the help of the output devices. Now this all the things that we give, that is the data and instruction to the computers, are called the input. Using the keyboard, mouse, we give the input to the computer system. The CU acts on those data according to the instruction that we give, and some of the time the ALU asks the CU asks the ALU to do some of the calculations to give the output proper, and this working of the CU ALU are called the processing. and after the processing we get the perfect result from the computer system. That result is called the output. Now there are many output devices, there are many input devices. So whatever input we are giving to the computer system, either by the keyboard or by the mouse, then those inputs are processed inside the CPU using the CU, ALU, MU, and after that they give the output with the output device. Many output devices are there, either they use the monitor or they use the printer. Many more are there. Whatever the user want, they get the output onto that, and this output we can also store inside the secondary storage device, that is the hard disk, CD, pen drive. Inside those devices also we can store our output. So here we finish the chapter. So now I think the whole chapter is revised to you, and you people will go through each and every point I discussed over here: the software, the hardware, the CPU, what are the different parts of the CPU, what is IPO cycle, how the IPO cycle is working, what is input, what is processing, what is output. These things please go through the chapter once, and after that please learn the let's recap of page 13. And after that I have already given you the question answers, so please go through the question answers, learn the question answers, and practice writing of the question answers at home. So for now, bye bye.